Ugas versus Barrios is going to be a very, very good fight. Both of these fighters are similar in styles and also backgrounds and everything else. They're very, very similar. But these guys are coming in to fight tough fights. They're both coming off of losses, um, very hard fought losses. But I feel like Ugas has been in a lot more tougher fights lately, especially throughout his career. Um, so I think he's well prepared. Barrios too. Barrios has had very hard fights. He's one of those young guys that he's not getting credit enough for taking very, very hard fights lately. Tank Davis, Keith Thurman. I mean, you name it. He's taking some hard fights. But and he's been my favorite fighter for like 10 years. But people don't understand that most of these guys like Ugas, they have a track record as far as beating people down. I know he had a setback in the Spence fight. It was just a style that didn't comp well with him. He's not used to fighting really guys who's kind of like power punchers, um, like how Spence and Porter kind of in line with that kind of style. But Barrios is more of a finesse guy, but he has a lot of skills, a lot of skills. He can definitely beat Ugas in this fight. If Ugas doesn't come in prepared like he has, or if he takes a step back, Ugas is 34 years old, so I don't expect him to be in tip top like he has been in past. But the Spence fight wasn't a problem as far as his head moving or anything. But both of these guys, well, I wouldn't say his head movement. His head movement was a problem. Both of these guys' head movement is an issue. Um, so whoever's the better boxer in this fight, that's usually who's gonna win. At this point, I would say Ugas is a better fighter. Um, I will say that. I kind of wish Barrios would have pressed the gas on Keith Thurman a lot earlier in his fight with his layoff, and it's just the same problem like the head movement, the timing of Ugas and his ability and his prep as far as his preparation for this fight. I feel like he sparred guys that's going to be in line with what Barrios is looking to do. So at this point in time, even though I want to pick Barrios, I would say Ugas because Ugas is basically a more advanced version of what Barrios does at an early age. So let's just say he's basically an older, more experienced version of what Barrios is. So Barrios isn't going to be doing anything except basically fighting someone who's similar to what he does. But Ugas has been in so many fights and he knows how to adjust. And if you hear how he talks about the loss, the Earl Spence loss that he took, and the things like that, he's really looking to bounce back. Like he's not looking to go out there and lay down. Even in the Earl Spence fight, he had his eye was messed up, but he wasn't knocked out or anything. So he's going in there. He's not going in there to lay down. So I expect him to defeat Barrios in 12 rounds. No knockout in this fight. Will be a lot of counter punching. Will be a lot of strategies going on. Uh, the first person to go to the body, that'll make the difference in the fight. I don't see Barrios running in there going to the body immediately, but I do see him trying to do that later on, which will, I think Ugas will start on that first. I don't want to see any head hunting, but I think I will see a little bit of that. But I feel like Ugas will he'll leave the jab out there. His jab will be out there enough, and the jab for him and the straight right, everything that'll be as far as his counter punching and keeping Barrios off when after he throws a punch, Barrios counters and then he counters back. So Ugas is gonna control everything. His countering and things of that nature will keep Barrios in check. But I feel like Barrios is gonna fight to the end. Um, I don't see anybody getting dropped in this fight, but Barrios possibly could get dropped. But I don't see any knockouts. Um, So that's really all I got in this fight. It's not really too much information I could share about this because they're so similar. I can't really say anything except for just the obvious things of what can help you win a fight and what can't. So the timing, the countering, uh, I'll say the head movement for them is about the same. So I would have to go with Ugas at this point. That's all I got for this, really. But in other words, I will pick Ugas to go 12 rounds. Probably a knockdown. Uh, but that's about it. I don't feel like Barrios is in a position right now to where he will be able to um, overdo what Ugas brings to the table. Especially these guys, I think they both fought this year, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be kind of hard to change how they are kind of at this point. So we kind of have a picture of how they fight and what they bring to the table. But it's going to be a hard-nosed fight, no knockouts. But it's definitely going to be something that Ugas is not ready to go away in his career. Definitely not. He's looking to fight a couple more years, and he don't want Barrios to be his last co-main event, main event, anything like that. He's looking to stay in contention.